Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome back once again to Fallout 4 Survival Mode. So, after fun with the USS Constitution last time, we've got a few side quests left to knock our way through, and then we'll start heading back in the general direction of the main story. Ah, good, this is the way I want to go. So, we're going to do The Secret of Cabot House today. That was well timed. So, this is a quest I have done before, but only the once. For some weird reason, I keep putting it off. And I don't really know why. I mean, the quest rewards aren't particularly useful for me. But it is rather cool, so... I swear there's supposed to be robots around here, though. We have one of the few not partially destroyed houses left in downtown Boston. So while we were back in... I think probably Bunker Hill, most likely. That's usually where I run into the fellow. We met a ghoul named Edward Deegan, who told us to come down here to Cabot House and visit his boss. So that's what we're going to do.
Go away.
Oh, thanks.
Up yours.
I told you to go away.
I said up yours. Can I do it again? Yeah, I
Up
can.
yours.
I told you to go away.
Let me in. Edward Deegan asked me to come here.
Oh, it's you. Good. Come on in.
Oh, that was fun. Oh, that's where that door's from. I had wondered.
Come on, let's go meet the boss.
Interesting fellow, this guy.
What is this place?
Better to let Jack answer that. Come on.
And here comes the man himself, eventually. You coming down here or am I going up there? Yeah, looks like I'm going up there. Not feeling very conversational, are you, bud?
Sure.
Okay, so let's try this again, shall we? This looks slightly more promising than it did before. Too much faffing around. Well, we still seem to be missing the opening gambit, but whatever. Clearly this is not going to play ball.
What is this place?
This is my ancestral home. The Cabots have always lived here, since long before the Great War. If you're asking what we're still doing here, with Boston in its current sad state, well, that's a story for another time, perhaps.
Really?
Edward said you needed to talk to me before he hired me?
Yes, Edward finds it tiresome, but I always like to know personally everyone who works for me. Please, have a seat. How about a drink? Edward, the good bourbon, eh? Please, have a seat.
Okay.
Now, before we get down to business, I have a question I like to ask all my new employees.
Is this really the time
Don't
for...
interrupt, Edward. The question is this. Do you believe there is other intelligent life in the universe?
Well, apparently he's going to sit all the way over there, so let's move a bit closer, shall we? Well...
Are you talking about aliens? UFOs and little green men?
No, that's all popular hysteria. I doubt any of it has any basis in fact. I'm talking about the hidden history of our planet. The very origins of human civilization. Ancient powers that modern science, even at its pinnacle, could barely begin to comprehend.
Yep, I think we're going to lean over in this direction.
You can believe whatever wacko theories you want, as long as I get paid.
Well, if that's how you feel, I'll leave you to Edward. He'll be your immediate supervisor. There won't be any need for us to have any further direct interaction.
We'll see.
What was all that about?
Don't worry about it for now. That's part of the job, by the way. It's best to keep an open mind. Jack may be eccentric, but
Yep.
he's definitely not crazy. The job I got for you is simple. Jack owns a facility north of the city. There's an important package that went missing between there and here. I need you to track it down and bring it back to me. Any questions?
Yep.
You haven't told me half of what I need to know.
Keep your shirt on. I'm getting to it. You should start at Parsons State Insane Asylum. Don't let the name spook you. It's just a secure building that we're using. We think the courier got ambushed as he was leaving the place. The guards heard gunfire in the distance, but we don't know exactly what happened. Check in with Maria at Parsons. She's in charge of the security force there. She can point you in the right direction. You all set then?
I was all set when I walked in here.
Well then, get going already.
Okay. It sounds like this guard captain's not all that effective if... Oh, apparently I have a key now. Cool. Yeah, if she's managed to let a courier get ambushed just outside the area she's supposed to be guarding, but... We need to head... up to Parsons State, all the way up here, which I believe I actually have on the map since I flew over it on a vertibird a couple of weeks back. So, let's head up that way.
That is not acceptable. Imogen is missing and I want her found.
She's not missing, Mother.
Do you know where she is?
No, but that doesn't
Your sister
mean...
is missing and I want her found. What else is Edward for if not to keep the family safe?
I'd be happy to send someone to look for her, ma'am. It's not a...
Mother, Edward has better things
So
to do.
did you find
than
out what
sending
happened to the
someone
courier?
I don't care what happens to your sister.
So...
Hardly worth my time. Just a few raiders who ambushed him.
I don't like raiders operating so close to Parsons. I hope this isn't the start of something serious. What about
Doubt
the
it, they're
serum
dead.
he was carrying? Did you get any of it back?
Decisions. Well, I don't want it for myself, really, but...
What's so important about this serum?
You're getting paid to follow orders. Your orders were to get it back. That's all you need to worry about.
Tempted by the BS, but I don't think I will.
There was only this one vial left.
Oh, good. I was afraid we wouldn't get any of it back. Here's your pay for the job. I'm throwing in a little bonus for bringing back the serum. That was good work. Now, as far as what's next. Oh, hell. I guess it's time you met Wilhelmina. Jack's not gonna be happy about it. Come on.
Fun times.
Mrs. Cabot, don't worry. I'll send someone to find Imogen.
Thank you, Edward. I can always count on you. Why can't you be as devoted as dear Edward?
You shouldn't indulge her, Edward. It just makes her more impossible to deal with next time.
Just doing my job. Speaking of which, here's all we got back of the last delivery from Parsons. Raiders got the rest of it, I'm sorry to say.
Ah, good. Finally. This will help settle Mother down.
Imogen is Jack's sister. You probably figured that out yourself. She's, a little flighty. Impulsive. From time to time, she runs off. Usually with a new boyfriend. Then I send somebody to bring her home.
Sounds like a piece of cake.
I don't know where she's gone, but I can give you a place to start. She's been spending a lot of time in Good Neighbor. That's a jazz club there, the third rail. Somebody there must know something. She's not known for keeping her mouth shut.
Fair enough.
I'm off to find the loony sister then.
Yeah, gotta love the glitchiness of this game sometimes, but at least it actually worked this time, so I guess I shouldn't complain too much. Okay then, so... Well, best place to start. Let's try the bartender.
My client appreciates the work you did with his rat problem. Now, if you're buying, let's hear what you want.
Yo, do you know Imogen Cabot?
Name rings a bell. Kind of balmy. Haven't seen her in a while, though. Try Magnolia. She likes to make friends with people. She might know more about this missing bird.
Nice. I think that was a good place to start. Where's Magnolia got to? There she is.
Hey, Magnolia.
You again. It's my lucky day. What do you need?
Oh, you could look at me, that'd be a good start. Thanks.
Do you know Imogen Cabot?
Imogene? Sure. I know her. I haven't seen her in a while, though. Were you a friend of hers?
Nobody's seen her in a while.
Do you know where I can find her?
I guess that depends on why you're looking for her.
Her family hired me to find out what happened to her.
Well, I suppose
Nice.
it won't hurt to tell you.
Do you know where she's gone?
There was this preacher fella who used to come in here all the time. One of the slick ones. Always going on about remaking your life and so on. Most of the customers wouldn't give him the time of day, but Imogene, she latched on to him for some reason. I don't suppose it hurt that he was easy on the eyes. Intense. Some women find that irresistible. Pam, would you come over here a minute?
Is there a problem, Miss Magnolia?
No.
No, this fine gentleman here was just looking for Imogene. Do you happen to know where that preacher fella came from?
Brother Thomas.
Yes, that's right. The one Imogene was always hanging on.
Had to throw him out. Wouldn't stop bothering customers with that salvation racket. Kept going on and on about joining him at the back bay. Then he'd shove those stupid flyers in your face. Here, I kept one of them, just in case he didn't pay his bar tab.
Well, thanks, honey. You were a big help.
Anything for you, miss.
I hope Imogene's all right. I didn't much like the idea of her going off with that preacher fella.
Sounds like trouble to me. So, what's this flyer thing? There we are. So, change your life at Charles View Amphitheatre. Rock and roll then. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here, because I have a feeling people got themselves killed a while ago. Yeah, they did. There's a distinctly headless fellow. I seem to remember. Oh, he's got a sea captain's hat. Cool. I'm having that on general principle.
Here to learn about our move?
Okay, I think it's one. What's his name? Brother Thomas. Yeah, apparently I've looted all these guys. Got himself killed, but apparently not. He seems to have mysteriously come back to life. I don't really like the sound of that.
Excuse me.
Welcome, neighbor. We're always glad to see a new face around here. Tell me something. You ever feel like this whole world is broken? Do you ever wonder why things can't be the way they were in the good old days?
Well, I'm in the bombed out ruins of a city, so, maybe you're pointing out the slightly obvious.
I'm looking for Imogene Cabot.
Oh, I'm sorry, but Imogene is indisposed right now. She's not seeing visitors.
I'm not leaving without seeing her.
You can't see her. She, can't come out of her room right now. Not that it's any of your business, but she and I are just having a little relationship trouble. You know how it is. She's not seeing anybody until she cools off.
I'm going to go with threatened because I really don't like this guy's attitude.
I killed the last guy who was running this scam, in case that matters to you.
Good to know. Let me just unlock the door for you, okay?
Smart man. Still kind of inclined to shoot you in the head, though.
She's all yours, neighbor.
Is that how you open the door, is it? Just stare at it. Hello. Nah, damn it.
You must be Imogene.
Don't tell me. Jack sent you.
You're Jack's sister? I was expecting someone a bit younger.
You really know how to flatter a lady, don't you? Just to be clear,
Fair point.
I'm Jack's younger sister, the baby of the family. Once I get home and get some of Jack's serum, I'll be back to my usual stunning self.
Jack has a serum that reverses aging?
It's more like it halts aging. I started taking it when I was 32, so normally that's what I look like. You'll see once I get my treatment. I was well known as one of the belles of Boston society, back when there was any.
Let's go already.
I don't recall asking you to rescue me.
Fine. I'll lock the door behind me on my way out.
Wait! Since you've already gone to all this trouble, I may as well leave now. I was bored with Thomas anyway. He seemed so interesting at first. But after we got here, he turned out to be just another brute. He actually thought he could force me to join his absurd cult.
I hope you don't need to say goodbye to your boyfriend.
Thomas? He wasn't my boyfriend. We had some fun together, that's all. Besides, he shouldn't have locked me in here. Oh, I'm not going with you. You can tell Mother I'll be along home before too long. I just need a drink first.
I sincerely hope she's got some guns stashed away in there somewhere then. Okay, mission accomplished. Let's go and tell Cabot about his crazy sister.
Edward, what's going on there?
We're under attack. They're inside the building.
Inside? Can you keep them out of the basement?
I'm trying, Jack. I've never seen raiders that...
Well, that doesn't sound good.
For God's sake, Sammy, the doorway, right there. Sorry. Things are a little busy around here right now.
Listen, if they're inside the building, you have to go to the office and shut down the elevator. You can't risk them getting to Lorenzo.
Got it. Office. Elevator. You better round up whoever you can and get...
Hello? Edward? Come in! Edward! There's no signal at all. I've lost him.
What's
Guess the
happening?
radio got
If
shot
these
then.
people are inside Parsons. If they free him,
Don't worry, I'll handle it.
I always knew it would end this way. I never should have allowed you to lock up Lorenzo in that place.
That isn't helping, Mother. And as I recall, using the serum was your idea, not mine.
So what are you going to do?
I said I'll handle it. I'm thinking.
What's going on?
That was Edward. He's at Parsons, the old asylum. They're under attack by raiders. It's strange. The guards have held off raiders before without any trouble. I don't know what's gone wrong this time.
Probably the same raiders that stole the serum.
Could be. If some of them had used the undiluted serum, it could explain their unusual success against Edward's men.
Cool. So, big obvious question.
What exactly does this serum do?
I suppose it's time you knew.
Oh,
The main
well.
benefit of the serum is to halt aging. My family and I are all over 400 years old. But it also confers other side effects, especially in the undiluted form that the raiders stole. It increases strength and resistance to all kinds of physical damage. So at least some of these raiders may be much more dangerous than the ones you're used to dealing with.
If you're 400 years old, then you were born before the Great War.
Yes, I think
200
you were
years
too.
before.
I'd say mid-21st century.
What makes you think that?
Patterns of speech, general demeanor, physical health. You reminded me of the old days the moment I laid eyes on you. I just didn't put my finger on it until now. Is there anything else before we get going?
I'm kind of surprised you don't want to know how I've survived this long.
Where do you get this serum from?
My father, Lorenzo Cabot, is confined in Parsons. He became dangerously unstable after handling an artifact he found on an archaeological dig in Arabia. He gained various seemingly paranormal powers, as well as becoming increasingly irrational and violent. In the end, I had no choice but to confine him, for his own safety, as well as ours.
Jack, are you sure it's wise telling him all this?
In the course of my attempts to cure him, I discovered that the artifact had introduced anomalies into his blood. So the source of his insanity is also the basis of the treatments that have prolonged all our lives. The irony isn't lost on me, but if he were to escape from Parsons, I would lose my father forever. I will not allow that to happen. Not to mention that the artifact has made him paranoid, homicidally violent, and endowed with extraordinary abilities.
Well, that sounds interesting. On the other hand, is he really that concerned about his father, or just the serum he makes from his blood?
Exactly what abilities does he have?
Enhanced strength, unusual resistance to most kinds of physical damage. Oh, and a kind of local telekinesis, which appears to be projected by the artifact itself. That's why I've built a dampening field. into his cell. Which is why we really need to stop these intruders before they turn it off. Hold on. Weren't you off looking for Imogene? Did you find her?
I found her. She's fine, by the way.
Oh? Good.
At least there's one small comfort on this terrible day.
You'll be wanting to be paid, of course. Edward
Yes,
usually
please.
handles these things. Caps is what you use for currency, isn't that right? Here. I hope that's the right amount.
Okay, so let's begin the long run up to Parsons.
Ready? Let's go. Just to be clear, under no circumstances can we allow Lorenzo to be freed from Parsons. I would have lost my father forever. I refuse to let that happen after spending so long trying to cure him.
Really? That's what you were trying to do, was it? There's fascination with blood as a source of eternal youth. Kind of makes me think to some of the early sort of histories and stuff that became part of the vampire legends these days. Elizabeth Bathory and the like.
It's the artifact that's made Lorenzo so dangerous. I'm sure his psychosis would be cured if it could be removed. But so far, all my attempts have failed. It's fused too tightly with his nervous system. I'm well aware of the apparent conflict of interest in my father being the source of the treatment that is prolonging my own life. But I assure you that if I had the chance, I would gladly give it all up to have my father back, even for a short time.
Of course you would.
Analysis, yellow.
Oh, crap. Really? I'm alright about this Soltron, to be completely honest, but you know. My grenade did some good work. I thought Jack did. Oh, your head seems to be the easiest shot. Nice. Any more? Go as well. And you. Huh, you're going to be challenging. Grenade! Bullseye. I'll do. No trouble on the roads. Seems to have acquired himself a combat rifle as well. It's using your nous. Oh, hello. Get out of it, you. An automatic one as well, bloody hell.
Almost there. Let's hope.
One
These
of
men
us,
seem
man.
to have given a good account of themselves. Not good enough, sadly. We need to get to my office. From there we can see how bad things really are.
What?
Okay, stick close, follow my orders, and I'm sure everything will be fine. Let's go.
Yeah, you push on ahead. I'm just going to loot these guys and make sure I've got anything worthwhile from them.
The door's blocked from the other side somehow. We'll have to find a way around.
Dramatic music. And all quiet.
I can't believe this is gonna be worth the trouble. Look at this place. Nothing but dust and junk.
Don't do anything stupid.
Listen.
Lefty's right about
Get ready.
this being where that new juice is coming from. Hell yeah, it's gonna be worth it. How'd you get any of it anyway? Lefty doesn't even like you. I cashed in some favors with people who Lefty does like. You're just sore because you never got a taste. You better be right. And Lefty better share it out fair, or it's not just me that's gonna pay.
Oh, well done, Jack. Just cause trouble, why don't you? Oh dear, a Berserk Raider. That can't be good. Oh, got you. And got you as well. Come on, one for the bid. Yeah. Crikey, he's throwing his gun at me now. Trust Jack Cabot to push on when it's not a very clever idea to do so. This is why I don't play with companions on this save.
Come on out! I found him!
Yeah, because he's an idiot.
You are trespassing!
Crikey, he handles himself though, doesn't he? I can hear you. Oh, you're in there, are you? Nothing says me.
Got it.
Oh, you're not.
Personal, just you or me.
All quiet so far.
Edward, how badly are you hurt?
I'm not dead yet, but I don't think I can get up.
You kept them from using the elevator?
Yeah. I sent the elevator down to the basement, like you wanted, and shut it down.
Good.
Shot quite a few of them before they decided to leave me alone in here. Haven't seen anybody for quite a while. I think. It's hard to keep track of time.
Are you sure you can't get up? I could really use your help.
Yeah, Jack. I'm pretty damn sure.
Well, then don't worry about it. Me and your friend here will have to take care of things ourselves. They've definitely reached the basement. Although
Awesome.
I don't understand how they knew how to get past it. It doesn't matter now. We'll have to go through the abandoned part of the building. It looks like the adrenaline field is still functioning. Although several of the security doors in the basement have already been breached. We'd better hurry if we want to stop them. They seem determined to reach Lorenzo for some reason. We need to get to the basement before these intruders find a way to set Lorenzo free. Follow me.
Be careful, Jack.
This can't possibly be a good idea. Okay, so we're back. Pretty sure I don't recall going round in a circle, but anyway.
What?
Hello?
What the?
You're an easy start. Any friends of yours around? Yep. Okay, 2 for 2. 1. Goodbye. Alright, I get a sleep. Hello. And you're berserk as well. Well, we best deal with you quickly. Ooh, right through the eyeballs. Yep, run at the guy with a sniper rifle while you're behind a pool cue. Great idea. You're doing something stupid, aren't you, Jack? You can knock it off. Goodbye. Winner.
We never used this wing. Nobody's been in here for decades. There's no telling what we'll run into.
I've got a few ideas.
Let's hope we can find a way through. The utility elevator is on the bottom floor. Come on.
I don't know, like he ever tells us anything. Yeah, not exactly the pushover that we were promised. Where do you assholes keep coming from?
You're not particularly tough. Ooh, well, that's quite an impressive little technique. I'm gonna help you, like. Cool. Took his legs out. Took their heads out, but... Goodbye. Yeah, footsteps and they don't sound... Splat. Let's have your head if we possibly can. Roar. Stay. Oh, genius you are, aren't you? It's okay, just run right through the furniture. Don't try and sneak up on them or anything. Right in your arse. Come out, wherever you are. Not you! Twit.
This is bullshit.
We're so dead.
Oh, now it's off.
Or not. Really? And like a badass down there, gonna get himself killed. Oh, awesome. Not so awesome.
God's sake, how many of these bastards are there?
Ah, crap sticks, I'm gonna have to fall down the hole.
Dibs on the loot.
You're getting late? Crikey, where's he gone? Leave me in a corridor with two guys. Not that they're exactly gonna cause problems. Bye!
Let's go.
Here goes nothing.
Going down.
Nice. Do you want to hold back while I just scout ahead and don't get us all killed? No?
Kill
Okay.
everyone you see. Don't hesitate. We can't let them release Lorenzo.
Nice work.
Hello, Jack. It's been a long time since I've had the pleasure of a personal visit.
Father, I will stop this.
My powers have grown, Jack. The artifact still has so much to teach me. Once I am free, I will be happy to teach you too.
You know I can't let you out until I can remove the artifact. They've locked down all the security doors. I'll have to open them one by one from here while you work your way down the hallway. Quickly now.
That fella's not very smart though, is he?
You need to shut down the containment field in order to open the door. God damn it. I'm gonna break your skull open. This door down in 10 seconds. I'll be happy to show you how to get more of the serum as soon as you let me out of here.
So...
That's right. You need to shut down the containment field in order to open the door. They're almost through. Get that door.
I'm opening the main door. Hurry! The prevalence field is...
Lefty, eh? So you're the boss, are you? Goodbye, Lefty. Oh, I think you're wearing a flight helmet from up there.
Your capabilities.
Boom. Complete decapitation. Nasty.
I can feel my strength returning. Now I will finally be free.
I got a
There's
bad
still
feeling
one
about this.
chance.
Nice.
I just need a moment to enter the failsafe codes. It's not too late. It will take some time for him to regain his powers. We still have a chance to stop him.
Don't listen to my son. He's the crazy one. You know this. Look at what he's done to me.
Build a failsafe into the containment grid. Switch the 4 Abremelin generators to manual override, and I can flood his cell with a lethal dose of Zeta radiation.
Do the right thing. Open this door and let me out.
Decisions, decisions.
Everything my son has told you about me is a self-serving lie. That must be obvious now.
Well, we've got the crazy fellow with the artifact on his head who's apparently commanding raiders. Psychically, from the look of this.
The Abremelin generators.
Or his morally bankrupt son who's using him to
Everything
preserve
Jack
his
has
life.
told you. Who do you think is really the crazy one here?
I still think you're crazier than he is.
Listen to him. Do not let him out.
So how do I reset these generators?
Just open the door.
Like that. Last
Do
chance.
the right thing. Let me out of here.
Can't say I particularly trust this fella. Oh, awesome. That's so cool.
Generator and I can end this. I think there's still time. That's it. Don't worry. The Zeta radiation won't harm you. I'm sorry, Father. I did everything I could to avoid this. I believe I was close to finding a way to remove the artifact.
Liar! Get upon me here forever if you'd had your way. Puny worm.
True
Do
enough.
you truly think you have the power to destroy me?
He's kept you here for 400 years. He's probably got the power, yeah.
Goodbye, Father.
Hey there.
We didn't have any other choice, did we?
What would he have done if he'd gotten free?
Oh, he would have killed both of us. And then the rest of my family. And that would only have been the beginning. His crimes back when he was free. It was only because of my family's influence that he ended up here, rather than on death row. The world now, it's a world made for monsters. Nothing could have stopped him. No, I've answered my own question. We truly had no choice.
What now?
I need to bury my father and shut down this place. I won't be back here again. Before you go, I couldn't have done this without your help. I think this is fair compensation. I won't be needing your services after this.
Well, since there's a cool additional reward, let's push for it.
I think I deserve more than that, after saving you and your whole family.
You're right. I shouldn't hold a grudge after all your help. You know, I was so close to understanding the artifact. Now that I can study it directly, I may be able to do something useful with it. Come back and see me at Cabot House in a week or so. All my research may not have been completely in vain.
Don't do anything stupid like trying to put it on. Comfortable cell, such as it is. Food, books. Hey, even had whiskey. You there was something worth having in there. There's 2 of those in this little quest line. And his suit's quite cool as well, if I remember rightly. 2 charisma, there we go. Old school suit, very cool. Shall we? Why not? How do we look? Not very good from that angle. Let's try and get a bit more light on it. Tubby, I think is the word. Doesn't really suit him, does it? That's a bit better. Now he just looks like a maniac. Which is kind of cool in a way. There we go. So it's a bit of an interesting moral dilemma, this one, really. Because on the surface of it, you've got Jack Cabot here saying his father's crazy and will kill everybody, and the only reason he was committed to Parsons was because of the family's influence, otherwise he'd have wound up on death row or whatever. But there's no actual evidence anywhere in the quest line to imply what he did that might have got him in that situation. Whereas you've got Lorenzo saying Jack just locked him up and wants to exploit him for the long life he's gained from the artifact there. Whereas the only real evidence against Lorenzo that we actually see in this, if you go through the terminal entries and stuff, is the suggestion that he wanted to hide the knowledge he gained from the dig site where he found the crown there, and go back later and gain more knowledge and presumably power from that. So it's hard to say whether or not that's just you know, general lust for power or actually being dangerous. Hard to say, really. On the other hand, you have got everything that Jack has done to his father and locking him up and exploiting him and using his blood to prolong his life and such like, which is decidedly vampiric. So it's kind of a tough decision. Though I do know, spoiler alert, that if you go down the other road and release Lorenzo, he does actually turn around and kill his entire family, and you can find him later on in the game over the bodies of a load of ghoul settlers he's murdered to study them. So he probably is kind of crazy, but there's no actual evidence at the point you make the decision to back it up, which is kind of curious, really. Not sure if this is an oversight on the part of the devs or just an intentional ambiguity built into the storyline, really. So, We had the deep dark secrets of Cabot House discovered, and a maniacal patriarch put to rest. I think this is a good time to wrap this episode. So thank you very much for watching as always. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, I'm sure you know what to do by now. And if you'd like to keep up to date with everything on the channel, you can find me on Twitter and Facebook at /DarthXionGames, also on Instagram as well. And I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon. Thank you very much.